Hey, what's going on? It's your boy SC Starbolt, and I'm here to do a review of the MPress hitbox. So obviously, I bought this from Paradise Arcade, as you can tell by the branding here. I pre-ordered it when they announced back in, I think, August 2020. It arrived at my house probably about 2 months ago, and I've been putting it through its paces since then. And I feel like I've played on it enough now to give a solid opinion on it. So let's get into it. There's the beauty right there. Let's take it out. Get that out of here. So there it is in all its beauty. Let's get the big thing out of the way. This thing looks crazy. This thing looks amazing. I love it. The thin form factor is nice. The hitbox layout, the solo plungers, the unique wiring. It's just a really super clean build consolidated into a really solid tiny package. Like, the size alone is wild. Like, it really makes it super simple to transport. Like, it's only 9 inches by 12 and a half, and I think it weighs around like 4 pounds, something like that. And the casing is less than 1 inch thick. So it's really crazy. Like, you can put this thing in any bag. I mean, any bag, like really any bag. Like any messenger bag, laptop bag, stick bag, like whatever. The rounded edges are pretty cool too. I like the rounded edges and like the slanted rim around the edge right here, because you don't feel that case edge digging into your wrist like you do with some other cases. It also has these M4 through holes on the bottom that let you put small feet on it so that it doesn't slide around on whatever surface you have it on, or in your lap or whatever. That's also one of my cons, but I'll talk about that later. Another big thing that I want to talk about is that it's powered by a Brook UFB, or Universal Fighting Board. If you're not familiar with those, it lets your MPress be compatible with pretty much any modern console. So that means no matter what you have, a PC, a PS3, a PS4, a Wii U, Nintendo Switch, Xbox 360, Xbox One, like, it doesn't matter what you have, like, the MPress is gonna work on it. So it even works on the the Neo Geo and Mega Drive mini consoles, and the PlayStation Classic too. So if you're into those repro consoles, this also works on those as well. Let's talk about the buttons. The buttons, these are great. You know, you have your touchpad, L3, R3, home, share, select, and then option start. Yeah, your standard hitbox layout. You know, your left, down, right, up, P1, 2, 3, 4, K1, 2, 3, 4. There's even a little switch on the back that lets you lock the option buttons up top so you don't get any accidental inputs, which is really nice. The plungers sit really high, which I like because it's really nice for like sliding off the button or like mashing the buttons. It's got like nice tactile feedback, so you can really feel yourself pressing the buttons. I think these are Cherry MX Reds switches that are in here, but I'm thinking about getting another one of these with clears because I prefer the clears. But these are really nice. The reds are really nice. They're the standard, usually the standard for Cherry switches. So now let's talk about the cons. I sort of have a weird issue with the top option buttons. Like, they have the touchpad button and the L3 button next to each other, and I don't really like that. Because then you have R3 and home right here, so it's kind of split here. Like, I wish they would have had touchpad, home, L3, R3, and had them since they have them split like this. I wish that they were next to each other, but that's probably a weird personal thing. That's probably just me. There's also the noise too. When you press a button. Now, it doesn't bother me as much anymore since I've had time to get used to it and everything like that, but it gives off a sort of weird hollow clack when you press the buttons hard enough. And I don't know, it doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't bother me really anymore, but when I first got it, I was like, whoa, that's super weird. It also slides around a lot. Even on a solid surface, I definitely recommend adding feet to it. But with that being said, I did put feet on it, and they dug into my legs when I played on my lap. And when I sat it on a surface, they made it sit too high, so it was weird. So I do recommend, if you do get feet for it, then get some really shallow ones, like the short kind of curved ones. I would definitely recommend those. Also, the small form factor of it is definitely a gift and a curse. Like, for large dudes like myself, I find myself having to hold my knees together in order to keep it on my lap correctly, and either that or wear some super baggy pants, and that's definitely a no-go. So if you're a bigger person, I definitely recommend having a surface to play on or adding feet to it. My last con is regarding the USB-C port on the back. It's super shallow. As you can see, it's just kind of hanging out right here. When you plug something into it, it kind of just hangs out there. And it seems sort of vulnerable to, like, if it gets jostled enough, it'll just kind of rip out and screw up the USB-C port inside. What I would have liked to see is them kind of move it over a bit and kind of make it deeper so you could have more of the cable like in the casing, so it's like more safe. That would have been nice to see. But again, that's something that could also just be just me, and I'm just, overthinking things. All in all, it's a great piece of hardware, and I really recommend it to anyone who has to or likes to transport their controller, or doesn't have a lot of space to sit a big controller while they're playing, or just likes having the small, form factor of this cool little controller thing. It's awesome. If you want one, you can head over to ParadiseArcadeShop.com and get your hands on it. I'm pretty sure it's out now. Like, I don't know if they're still doing pre-orders and whatnot, but you can go over there and check. And you can also head over to twitch.tv/SC_Starbolt, SC_Starbolt, don't forget that underscore, and follow me for games and such. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fade Room YouTube channel, and peace.